we're scientists right now, right? Like we're creating hypothesis and we're putting a plan together and we're rolling it out and we're testing. And if you don't have a way to know that your theory, your hypothesis is right, what do you do? Right? You just had a really good idea, but you need a way to really validate the results and also pivot. You need to be quite agile right now and know this worked, it didn't. What did we learn? There's no failing. We're just all learning together. It's like a completely new era. And, you create your hypothesis, test it, and then know what those results are, know what is going to be an indicator of success.
Welcome to Connected FM, a podcast connecting you to the latest insights, tools, and resources to help you succeed in facility management. This podcast is brought to you by IFMA, the leading professional association for facility managers. If you are ready to grow your network and advance in your career, go to ifma.org to get started. Today, Rafa Guevara, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Professional Services at Office-Based Software, is joined by his colleagues CJ Frey, Solutions Consultant, Stewart, Director of Client Success, and Hardeep Singh, Client Success Team Manager. Together, they delve into the dynamic shifts occurring in the office environments and stress the significance of data-driven decision-making. They discuss the challenges posed by current datasets, introduce innovative solutions for gathering reliable data on employee behavior and office utilization, and also highlight the importance of collaboration and continuous learning in adapting to the future of work. Now, let's get into it.
Looking to step up your career game? Well, guess what? Facility Fusion is coming to Boston, Massachusetts from May 5 to 7. Facility Fusion is not just a conference, it's an immersive experience crafted for your personal and professional growth. Whether you're a seasoned facility manager or just starting in the industry, Facility Fusion has something for everyone. Dive into engaging discussions, attend hands-on workshops, and discover the latest trends that will shape the future of facility management. This is your perfect opportunity for networking with professionals in the industry and learning practical solutions to apply to your facilities. Lock in your spot now at facilityfusion.ifma.org.
Hello, I'm Rafa Guevara. I'm SVP and GM of Services over at Office-Based Software, and I'm here with my colleagues Ali, CJ, and Hardeep.
Thanks, Rafa. Yeah, Ali here. I manage the client success team. I'm just really excited to have a chance to kind of get together here and talk. It's been interesting, with Office Space being around for like 15 years, and now we're going through this really monumental shift in how we come into the office and the purpose and the intention behind it. And I think it's really interesting while we take a moment and just kind of pause and reflect on maybe where we've come from and talk about where we're going and where we think we're going to end up and how we can sort of enable people to make those decisions and that support.
My name is CJ Frey. I am a solution consultant within the sales team, but also supporting client as well, bridging really from the pre-sales process to the client's to implementation to client success. I'm really interested in really how we're moving towards post-COVID, the data collection, data being the forefront of all of our clients' minds, but also prospects, needing that data to really make that actionable decisions. Let's talk about that today and where we're going.
Awesome. My name is Hardeep Singh. I manage the strategic accounts for Office Space. And ultimately, we're looking to just help our clients actually leverage the software to the best of their ability. But we've got our finger on the pulse and we kind of understand what are the key problems and the areas that they're evaluating and they're looking to solve right now. So we're really looking to share a bit about the trends that we've been uncovering and how we're looking to help our clients provide a solution to get those answers.
And Ali, I feel like your team is always like so hands-on in talking to clients and understanding, what they're being challenged with, right? I know there's a huge appetite for data, but what are those data points? Like, it also almost makes me wonder that, like, everyone wants data, they want accurate data, and they want to use that for the employee's benefit and to improve the employee experience. But what are some of the challenges with the current data set?
I think it's reliability, right? So knowing that the data you have is accurate because you're going to make a lot of decisions based on that and really impactful decisions in terms of real estate spend. So you want to make sure that it's right. And if you're basing it on maybe human-led behavior, then we're finding that it's not really telling the full story.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Ali. So that's what we've been hearing quite a bit. I mean, hoteling, desk booking, as a lot of people refer to it, it is dependent on the end user actually performing that task and that end-to-end process. So what we've developing right now is a way for us to gather presence data from either via a badge data, from either badge data or actual network connectivity. When like an employee comes on office and they actually connect to your Wi-Fi system, that gets registered as presence on site. And we've developed a suite of dashboards that can help leverage insights that can be surfaced with combination of different data sets like your department to help you understand the behaviors of your employees. Like when are they coming in? Who's coming in? How often are they coming in? Which departments are coming in more often than others? Just to name but a few of those.
And these are the challenges. I mean, I put my facility management professional hat on and I'm like, well, I'm going to have a conversation with a COO or, chief people officer, head of HR, and they want to know how the building is being utilized and who's coming in and why, and how to build a more productive work environment. And I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers because I'm walking the building and it looks semi-empty, and it's probably because we have some sort of hybrid strategy that we've been, thinking about for the past couple of years post-pandemic. But it's hard to answer those questions, right? It feels like the role is moving from like very tactical, like firefighting and always dealing with the emergencies and being in crisis management mode to like, okay, strategically, where is the building going to be 4 or 5 years from now with the current utilization model? And is this in alignment with our company culture, right? And these are super strategic conversations for people in facility management.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're seeing and what we're hearing with a lot of the clients, I think, Hardeep, that you were working with just recently is this new sort of dashboard that we have that collates that presence data is saving them like 10 hours a week or more. And now they can use that to spend time being strategic because it's not just that reactive stage anymore. We actually have to go to leadership and present proposals. Like, how are we going to use our space? What is our intention? Free lunches aren't bringing people into the office anymore, right? Why am I going to sit in a commute? How are we actually going to utilize our space and how does that inform our culture? It's very connected.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we had a great solution, but I didn't really appreciate the true value of that solution until we actually started connecting with our clients and getting feedback. So, one of the global leaders in holiday accommodations and short term rentals let us know that they can spend up to 10 to 12 hours per week exporting badge data, cleaning it, combining it with other data sets before it is even in a position where they can actually conduct analysis. So can you imagine that 10 to 12 hours per week recurring on a weekly basis spent on generating this report? When once you're set up with our solution, it's actually just up and running. So, and then there's also another client of ours who's a leader in the POS hardware and software space for restaurants. They're spending 1 hour per week per report. And that can be anywhere, that can vary from anywhere to 4 to 5 reports per week. So you can imagine that's a huge time saving. And as Ali mentioned, more time spent on analyzing your employee behavior so you can, make some adjustments that would make the workplace more an attractive place for the employees to come in more often.
Poorly, we're scientists right now, right? Like we're creating hypotheses and we're putting a plan together and we're rolling it out and we're testing. And if you don't have a way to know that your theory, your hypothesis is right, what do you do? Right? You just had a really good idea, but you need a way to really validate the results and also pivot. You need to be quite agile right now and know this worked, it didn't. What did we learn? There's no failing. We're just all learning together. It's like a completely new era. And, you create your hypothesis, test it, and then know what those results are, know what is going to be an indicator of success, right? Do you need to increase your utilization in a particular location? You can set that as a goal and roll that out and have the right data to make the right decision.
I think even with our workforce intelligence, we have the means to have that utilization data actually be displayed. Instead of going through Excel, working these, off of PDFs the more manual way, our dashboards can show you your utilization rates now with easy to access badge data and Wi-Fi. It's not, you're not looking at buying additional hardware. You have all these data streams already at your fingertips. We take the hard part out of taking that data and making it actually usable, tangible data. You can see, in your New York building or your Hong Kong site, what's your actual utilization based on real badge data, Wi-Fi presence, even desk booking data as well, for some of our other dashboards. So we're taking the hard part out of it and giving you the actionable data points so you can take to leadership, take to teams to inform them of, hey, this is what we're seeing. How do we now action this going forward or respond to this?
I think that elevates the role of the FM, right? You're part of the strategy.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's what we're here for. We want to make our FM's lives easier. And if we can handle all of this reporting side for them, or preparing these reports ahead of time, and then they just need to conduct that analysis, put together a chart and share it with their leaders, senior leadership. Yeah, that's what we're here for, ultimately.
I would actually like pivot a little bit to like people. I tend to over-index people, right? And everywhere we go, we hear people first, right? So let's talk about people, right? People were working from home, right? And then they're presented with a hybrid solution. And everyone wonders like, well, why am I commuting? What used to be a mindless part of our day, which is like, you just have to commute to work. Like you just into the office, like period. That's life. It's a fact of life, right? We move from that to like, well, why am I doing this? Where's the value, right? And the value is no longer in like, oh, I get coffee, right? Or I get a food spread, right? The value needs to appeal to a higher level, right? To a higher need, a need to connect, a need to collaborate, a need to learn from senior leadership on our teams, right? To connect with others, to learn from them. All these informal cafeteria conversations, water cooler talk, right? Those things are gone because our days are super structured with Zoom meetings or virtual, encounters where like everything is on an agenda and we need to do these things. And I think there's a room for that for sure, but there's also a room for that connection at the individual level. So like all these idea of getting data is so that we can understand our people and then give them the right working experience. Everyone wants a productive, collaborative workplace. We're all striving to provide that.
Yeah, last year we saw a lot of our clients actually conducting surveys, and those are valuable. You want to hear from your people. You want to hear like what's important to you. What do you like about being in the office? What are things that we can improve on? But that only tells half the story. So just to like back up what Rafa said, you need some like tangible hardline data to back up other areas of your utilization. And so that completes the picture. With both of those, you can actually like analyze that for your particular organization, and you can help make some more effective strategic decisions and not just basically remove some of the guesswork out of it.
I think it creates a very intentional strategy too, right? You're able to go to your employees and say, this is why the office is important. And your leadership, this is why this is important. This is what we're trying to achieve. You're just not getting people in for the sake of getting people in. There's intentionality. And I think that's really powerful. And I think it's actually really exciting. I like that concept of I'm coming in because I want to collaborate with you, Hardeep. We want to sit down in person and solve this problem. Or someone else is maybe more junior can come in and have that, so that career development experience where you can get to sit down with someone in leadership and have very meaningful conversation. And I think that helps explain to people why it's, the mindless commute, right? You were saying there, Rafa, because you're right. We all just did it automatically and now we don't have to. So why am I coming in? And how do we support that as leaders in this space to make sure that we're presenting it in the right way?
Almost makes me wonder if we're entering a new age in kind of like how we manage facilities and support our teams. One that, is really pushing for thought leadership, where more and more, again, what was a very reactive, for the majority of the day kind of job now is being looked or sought after for answers, right? For like, help me understand our people, help me lead the charge here in how we're going to behave as a company. You're now, if you're a facility management professional, you're now more than ever involved in culture, involved in dictating the pace of your company and understanding why we're coming into an office 2-3 days a week or 0 days a week or 5 days a week, and how that plays into the overall strategy, right? And the productivity and the vibrancy of the workplace, right? So it's a whole new era in terms of like, the different departments just looking for that leadership. And also that implies a consolidation of tools and processes and procedures and workflows at that level. Right? You can no longer manage 8 different processes at the facility with 8 different tools. It's almost like it's an age of consolidation and thought leadership. Try to find a platform that, scratches all those itches, right? That helps HR, that helps, people doing maintenance in your building, that helps your vendors interact with your people, that help people interact with people within the company, right? And you need to provide the thought leadership of how they interconnect, right? So it's a lot of what I see is consolidation and thought leadership. And that's basically people and tools, coming together and you picking the right tool for this learning experimenting that Ali was talking about.
Exactly. It's gotta be able to shift it and be agile with you, right? Because if we're going to be like the scientists that we're testing and proving or disproving our theories, we need to make sure that a software solution can also pivot alongside you and not get you locked in just to one single solution.
Yeah, I think based on that, it's okay if you don't have the answer right now, Ali. Would you say, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
we're all learning, right? It's kind of exciting in a lot of ways too. We're all part of this monumental shift.
Yeah, learning together. But yeah, just to circle back, you definitely need a foundation of like good, reliable data. And then make the adjustments that you need, do some tests and gather, do surveys as well, still continue to do those things, but be ready to pivot and shift and then see how that impacts that data that you're analyzing on a recurring basis, because that's going to be critical for you in being able to make the right decision and be like, you know what, this actually worked. Maybe I can like enhance this in some way. This did not work, so maybe I can do a little bit of an adjustment here.
I think some of the data you're seeing as well through badge or through Wi-Fi could prompt some questions like, should we test hotel desk booking in some locations? Do we need to have assigned seats moving forward? It prompts some questions that maybe you hadn't thought about as a business in exploring, but gives you the platform to say, hey, the data we're seeing here could support us testing some new policies or new ways of working in some of our sites that are open to it. I mean, the surveys help dictate, are employees open to desk booking or being more hybrid? So taking that more human aspect blended with the actual data, the hard data of, the more subjective pieces with the objective, you get these storylines that could help you make informed decisions down the road, test and pilot new strategies moving forward.
Is that our takeaway? It's an exciting time to be in the space, be in facility management and trying to answer all these questions, have that growth mindset, that posture of learning, and just, roll with it as we all find out what the ultimate strategy will be, which will be different for all businesses, I guess.
And sharing those learnings, right? We're all in it together. We're all learning together. And I think we can all learn from each other and share what's working, what's not, and how we're testing things and what we're thinking, which is, I think, also why IFMA is so exciting. Like having everybody coming here and learning together.
Yeah, it feels like it's the intersection of like where product meets workflow meets management, right? And then it all comes together for your workplace experience.
And that's where facility sits, right in the middle.
We're the center of the hub. Great. Well, this has been great and nice to sit down and just kind of take a moment during a busy trade show to chat. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. And as always, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for more incredible content.